What's up guys, super tired today, so I'm not gonna make any kind of long intro. Just like and subscribe please, just go down, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Wolf game. Is this the best play to earn game of 2022? Does it really have that potential? Does it deserve to be considered even on that top 10 title? Let's find out today in this video. So first of all, these guys don't give up, right? Why am I even making this video? These guys don't let it alone. They just don't. It's like the guy, what do you call, who just got knocked down like twice in that big heavyweight fight. Tony, right? Big 6'5" guy fighting the black guy. I was vouching for the black guy. He seems a lot stronger, but this guy just does not want to get knocked down, even though they got cat game, mouse game, sheep game, bear game attacks on this. All the copycats are pretty much died out. This one still keeps building. This one still keeps on coming up with news. This one still puts on the suspense by P2E and has me back here looking at it and trying to find out, should I get it on the secondary even at these prices right now because of the potential it can have in 2022. So let's look into it. First of all, I mean, I'm not gonna even do too much of a recap, right? What do you really have to know? Right now, the way they have it set up is that every wool pouch starts with a finite wool supply. So I'm looking at my wool pouch, finite. 47,000 is the max it will have, and I'll get this wool over the course of 4 years. Very interesting, right? They made it a more long-term way, so it doesn't only last a couple of weeks and break down. Okay, and the next thing that was introduced is the risky game. Now, initially, when I saw this thing, I was like, okay, all right, they're trying to make it some kind of like, you know, game theory thing. But with the recent upgrades they brought in, right, with the farmers, now with the lands and everything, I understand where they're taking this. They're finally bringing the play part of the play to earn into it, right? In the beginning, it was just passive. You just hold and stake in your barn and you get wool by automatic. But right now they realize is that, okay, that's not gonna be sustainable. So right now, the way they're doing it is, hey, there's risky game. But risky game is not just one thing. It's going to be like a progressively evolving thing that goes on, meaning you will have to play more and more risky games. And from the sound of it, what P2E's saying in the Discord and whatnot, it's going to become like at least multiple times a week. You're going to have to make quick little decisions that's going to have consequences or rewards based on what decision you make. How much will you get? Depending on the economics of the wool and the number of people that decide to play the risky game and versus whatnot. So recapping that part, basically all we have to know is that, okay, wool is finite. You get a little, you get it drip fed over a course of time into your pouches. But if you want to get more wool, you're gonna have to play these games based on the game's economy. Okay, interesting. This is itself. Not too long ago, this was under 0.2, and pretty recently, this has been spiking up again, right? Right in the last like couple days, even a week or so, it used to be as low as the average price was 0.26, and right now we're looking at 0.97. The average price that they're being brought up almost to 1 ETH again. Numbers don't lie. People are seeing there's a potential that this can be not just a quick facade and can become something really, really big. So let's go back to the fundamentals. Who is it by? Who's behind this project? Well, the most notable person, like, the guy who talks a lot and gives us a lot of alpha, is none other than P2E himself. Now, you can love him, hate him, there's so much controversy with this guy in Twitter and whatnot, but all things being equal, if you just look back in time, the calls this guy has made over the last year, you cannot deny that he has a good track record. Yes, he talks his book. Yes, he pumps his own bags and all that kind of stuff. But that's what any CEO does who's raising capital, right? Or any marketer or any team member does. He's basically the main marketing person in any project that he touches. And the way he pulls his marketing clout is by making calls in the market based on other projects that he sees, and people make money and respect his opinion because like they make money from him. So then when he pumps his own bags, they trust that as well, and it goes up. So it's pretty much a fair play. That's all I'll leave with P2E. There's enough info with P2E. I can make a whole series of videos on, so I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I like the person that he is, like the fact that he's involved with the project, he's bullish on it, it's a plus point for me. And just before I leave the topic of P2E, I wanted to show you a screenshot which kind of summarizes what we talked about in the last couple of videos, where not only the reputation of the person, but how much are they going to be using that reputation, their time and effort into this game. He said this not too long ago. Don't worry, guys. I'm really obsessed with the Wolf game now. And I believe it. I believe him fully because I've been following him for some time and I know how he gets, especially he has a thing for these kind of like on-chain games, right? The guy's not just like a marketer. He's actually pretty good with his calls he makes, down to the actual technology side of things, on-chain economics, all that kind of stuff. And when he's so obsessed with one project like this, I know that he at least believes himself that there's a lot of upside, right? He likes money. He does not get into stuff where he's gonna lose money. And so I know that P2E is fully into this. So now that we got Beanie down, who else do we really know? Because most of the team has been anonymous up until very recently. And Beanie agrees, right? Just like we talk about this channel a lot goes down to who is behind the project, right? And he says this comment: the rarest and the most valuable commodity in all of crypto are legit Solidity devs. You cannot hire one. They can print money. Wolfgame has this. Who else has a Solidity dev in NFT? I would say Andy at Fractional. There's no token there. He's legit AF. Name another. Basically saying like we have really high-end devs in Wolfgame. I think that's true, but whether that's true or not, I really like the way he put this first sentence together with, up till print money, because that is. And with that being said, the most recent person we know who joined the team and is doxxed is Burhan Müller. So this guy is a metaverse defender, auditor, consensus, something awards. So he's kind of like a big deal, right? I looked at some of his tweets and stuff like that. It looks like this guy's been in the space for some time, and he's really into Wolfgame, becoming, came on as one of the main team members. If you go to his LinkedIn, he's legit in the sense that, like, he has a good amount of experience. This guy's not just been here like this year. He's been here for some time, working in this space. He's just, he knows what he's talking about here. So this changes a lot, because now it's not just Beanie. Now it is one more person that we have who's doxxed, who has legit credentials in the space. And aside from him, there's still quite a few people. They're saying that they got 2 more virtual economists, which is very interesting. The fact that that's a job now, makes sense. I mean, like, one of the questions we've been asking in all these derivatives of Wolfgame is it going to work? Does it make sense? Is it long term? Well, a virtual economist, that's their goal. That's their stuff, right? They're going to be able to see the tokenomics, the incentives, and they're going to be able to project out what is likely to happen based on human behaviors in the long term in a project with these kind of parameters, basically, right? So it's interesting that they got those people in, and now that they dox one of the team members, I feel more confident that those people that Beanie has been talking about is actually there in the back. Now, moving out from the core team, what's some other things we can look at that can give us bullishness? Well, one of the things I like to see, and this doesn't happen often, but I mentioned in the channel before about loot, that it's reaching far outskirts of like the space, meaning very smart people talk about loot, even though they're not big into NFTs. Well, some very smart people are talking about Wolfgame who are not really into NFTs. One of these guys are the guys from Dumb Money, and I don't know if how famous they are. If you guys anybody who watches my channel notice them or not, but these guys are like basically VCs, and they self-funded their own investments and whatnot, and became pretty much like, I don't know exactly their net worth, but they're doing pretty well. Like a couple $100 million, I think they're worth cumulatively at least. And they take high risks and everything. And they made a whole thing about Wolfgame out of nowhere. And they talked about Wolfgame, I think the only NFT they really talked about on the entire channel, out of all the NFTs out there. And he went out and bought a bunch of sheep and a couple of wolves and whatnot. Bullish for me. And finally, to me, this is one of the deal breakers. Not deal breaker in the sense that if this doesn't happen, then the project won't do well. I think Wolfgame is actually about to do very well, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. But this one is something that can really accelerate it, and that is Gary Vee. Gary Vee has mentioned Wolfgame multiple times, right? Even Beanie has said, open to the idea to hire VaynerMedia. I have no info on how that talk is going though, right? Open to hire VaynerMedia. That is so crazy because VaynerMedia does marketing for big companies. And the reason why this is so interesting is because they've been doing marketing for big companies for a while, but then Gary Vee got into NFTs this year. But he doesn't do really marketing for other NFT projects, right? He buys his own bags, he pumps his own bags, whatever he does. But it's not like he's officially marketing for other NFT projects. This would be like a project that Gary Vee could back that actually is using like his marketing agency to push out. So if this happens, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be like absolutely wreck and going to 10x for sure. 10x to 20x for sure. Anything Gen 0 especially, right? And it's not far-fetched to think this because he mentioned it for multiple times, and he actually put a tweet out that said Alpha Wolf in November 29th, which is like not too long ago. That leads me on to what we can potentially buy if we are looking into this project. And I think based on what's going on, Wolf is going to definitely be, this is a no-brainer, right? Anything under 10 ETH for a Gen 0 Wolf is going to be pretty good. Now, the prices are pretty high. I'm personally not going to be getting a Wolf because, again, it's like 5 ETH. And I think the next alpha is going to be Gen 0 Sheep. But maybe even a lower bar entry for that would be farmers if you have some wool left. So here, let's take a look because I actually put a picture together for this. Here. wolf over wool. So wool will be next. If you go into wool pouch, so wool pouch, I mean, the price has pretty much skyrocketed in the last couple of days, right? So people know what's going on. You know, the people are getting in 6 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. People are going crazy for this stuff, right? They're starting to see the writing on the wall here. But it's still early. Trust me, it's still early. People have been mistaking this for some time. So digress. Coming back to wool pouch here, you can see that, you know, there's all kinds of prices people are paying. So if you want to get into it, just make sure that how much wool it has, right? This has like 230K wool and people are paying about 1 ETH. I think that's kind of the going rate. It's about 250K for 1 ETH, 500K wool for about 2 ETH, 700K for 3 ETH, and if you're getting a million pouch, I think there's only a couple, like 7 or 8 of those, then I would bid about 4 ETH. So wolf, then wool, then sheep, which I personally think sheep is like, if you have not gotten into wolf game at all yet, I mentioned it again when it was under 0.2, right? Like I originally minted it, I sold some, then I mentioned it again when it was under 0.2, and I was like, it does not make sense why the original wolf game is like 3 ETH and the sheep in the migrated one is like 0.2. It's kind of a no-brainer to get that if you want to get, you know, 2 to 3x. Now it's looking like it's going to be a lot more than a 2 to 3x even within the next month. So I still think it's early that it's under 0.4 because the original is 3 ETH still. So there's still a 10x difference. I don't know why. So sheep is most accessible by the most people, even if you have no wool whatsoever, I think. And then if you do have some wool, I think farmers is the next, because farmers, they're just not even minted yet, right? Like you can literally go into the game still today's day, go to land page and mint some farmers. Where did it go? There, farmer Woolburn. See, 11,620. I can get some right now. In fact, why don't I just get some right now? Whatever, I'll just get 1 or 2 more. I have 5 lands and I'm gonna have 6 farmers right now. 4 farmers, 5 lands, so at least I'll have 1 farmer per land. There, putting my money where my mouth is. Land, farmers. So that's pretty much what we're looking at. The last thing I'll say, and this is pretty important, so if you stayed until this at the very point, I'm gonna give you this nugget. Play to earn has gotten a name in Axie Infinity and stuff like that. But people in first world countries, let's be real, let's be frank, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but we're not trying to grind 8 hours a day to make 50 bucks, right? If you're watching this channel, how many hours of Axie Infinity did you play in the last week? I would guess not that much, because you see the potential in other things. But would you play a couple minutes here and there, multiple times a week, making some high calculated decisions to be in the fun of it that will have huge rewards? I think we would. I think that would be cool. I think the more complex the game gets, in a way, the more grinding is involved. Like Axie Infinity, thousands of variations of tails and things, and then there's defense, and then there's one that's magic, all this stuff. Well, play 8 hours a day, and you'll, you know, slowly make your way. This keeps it simple. In the beginning, it was really no play in it. It was just stake. And now it is becoming a little bit more play to earn, as you have to make 1 decision we made so far. Soon it'll be maybe like 1 decision every month. And then after that, 1 decision every week. And it'll get more and more. And as this is going, we'll get more into the game while we're making money, quite a bit of it, because the economy and the overall branding of the game and the people it's able to pull in is what we're banking on for it to grow. And more people are in it, the more money each decision will have a potential to make. So there we have it, guys. Wolf game, I would give it. So my final thing is, I do think that it is one of the most powerful concepts, and it is yet to still show its full potential. And I do believe that in 2022, it will become bigger than most people anticipated it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.